As promised, Rev and Rose from Only Flesh are here in studio to play Are You Smarter Than? It's rare that we ever allow a guy to be a part of Are You Smarter Than, but he brought his own dangerous looking hooks, so what am I going to say, no?
I mean, I'm not much of a guy, so...
What's left of you?
Yeah, he's kind of part machine at this point. It's almost like RoboCop with all the piercings in your... How many piercings do you have in your face alone? And then we'll get to other...
I never really count, you know? I've never really ran into a situation where I needed to know the number. So I just, you know, I'm not good with numbers anyways. I forget a lot.
Rose, how about you?
I don't count because when you tell a number, people get creepy and want to count them. So I just stay away from it.
Good call. Now, Rose, do you dance on stage with Only Flesh?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. How many dancers do you count the dancers, or you just let that happen naturally?
Whoever gets up there.
It's who's available. She also hangs from hooks and bleeds
do you
a lot.
do the hook hanging too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, Bob, before we go any further, let's play the phone call that started it all, okay? Out of nowhere, Vince, I'm going to need you to step aside for just 1 second. We're filming this for the web.
Don't reach around for Vince here.
We always do that after the show, so we'll do it during the show as well.
Liking this show better already.
We are filming this for the web, so you can see Rev and Rose from Only Flesh on WXDX.com. After the program, we'll upload Are You Smarter Than? We do have a caller lined up. Her name is Samantha. She's getting ready to play. Stay listening, because if Samantha loses, then whoever calls in next automatically gets the passes for the Jack Reacher premiere, which people have been clamoring for. Southside Works on December the 15th. Stay listening. If the guys from Only Flesh win, then, well, you have an opportunity. Now, this is how we got introduced to Only Flesh. We didn't know about these guys performing just down the road in Westmoreland County, and how we could have been ignorant to this at this radio station, I don't know. But
I think I deserve a piercing for that. How did this get by me for this many years?
Go ahead and play the phone call.
Hello?
Hello?
I was seeing if you guys could play some local music from Greensburg. It's really good.
What's it called?
Only Flesh.
Only Flesh? That's the name of the band or the song?
No, name of the band.
Are you in the band Only Flesh?
Yes, they're into hooks and chains. They crucify themselves. They're into suspendage. They're like punk rock, metal, industrial mix.
I'm so down with a band that is into suspendage.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're right here from Greensburg. They work at Heavy. The singer works at Heavy Hands Tattoo.
Hey, let me ask you this. If they're suspended, how does the drummer play the foot pedal?
Well, the drummer usually is not suspended. Usually,
Tim. Usually he's not suspended.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's like circle pits of guys being suspended. They tour all the time.
Do they hang themselves from their nipples? How do they suspend themselves exactly?
Right, is this like a Hellraiser type scene here?
Yeah, they do. They suspend themselves from their backs and everything. You can check it out on YouTube.
I can't wait.
42. They played at 42nd Street. The singer's crucified himself like Jesus.
Wait,
He crucifies himself twice during the concert? Because he already said that.
Because, wait a minute, this is sort of like Spinal Tap, except with a singer instead of a drummer. They keep going through singers because they crucify themselves on stage?
Yeah, this singer crucified himself, and he had like a bone thing made for he could have his microphone right there.
A bone thing?
Yeah, it was like a chest.
Dude, I don't know how, but you sold us. We gotta see this band now.
Yeah, they're awesome. Like, Put My Love in You is like one of their best songs.
Put My Love into You, okay. Is one of their songs Sex Farm, too? All right, so we take this phone call, and we become completely overwhelmed with curiosity about Only Flesh. And sure enough, the videos are fantastic, and the stage performance is unreal. We posted them online and on
Unreal
Twitter.
doesn't cover it. Unreal kind of scratches the surface a bit.
At X Morning Show and WXDX.com, you can see some videos of the band performing. Do you know that kid, first of all? Rev, Rose, do you know him?
We have a couple people that come into our shop that might fit that bill. We have a colorful audience, if you will. Colorful.
Oh, it's a colorful band.
Well, Rose has very colorful hair, so that kind of goes hand in hand. You don't suspend yourself from your nipples, do you?
No, not yet.
That's the attitude I'm looking for. Not yet.
Now, what kind of crew does it take to put this show on? Because I saw on some of your pages, some of your websites, you had like 10 names Like people in the wings who help you get through all of this.
Well, we tour a lot, and it just depends on what they're asking us to do for the show, how big it is. So we have crew in different states.
Oh, okay.
And we have some that are located here. So it just all depends on what. When we go on tour, it's a very skeleton crew. So we hit up the different states that we're in to pull people in. But it just all depends. We try to do as big a show in whatever we can allow. You know, it just depends on the venue, because a lot of venues we can't suspend. So then we just, rub each other's butts and, oil each other
I saw
up.
one where you could suspend, where you had hooks in your back and you were on a wire. And you cut the wire, you cut the cord, and you just dead drop.
Yep, it was the first time something like that had been tried. We had 5 different points on the ceiling, and each time I got pulled up to that point, I would cut it, and it would swing, do it like a deadfall, swing down to the next one. And I would try to aim for people's heads, but people ducked a lot. So.
How many hooks are in your back when you do that?
Just depends. We usually do like 4 8-gauge hooks or 2 6-gauge hooks. Which
Okay,
I
for
brought
those
in
watching
for your,
at home, which one is
for
this
your
in my
viewing
right hand?
pleasure.
Yeah, please.
This is what, a 4-gauge?
That's an 8-gauge. The other one's 4.
Oh, okay. It looks like a shark.
Yes,
hook.
They are
looks like a
modified.
fish hook
They're
for-
modified shark hooks.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it
wow.
really?
Yes.
Wow. Now, when that kid called in, I never thought I would say this to another man on the air before, but tell us about your bone thing. When he says the bone thing, it sort of looks like you've got a rib cage extension or something.
Like a sternum, like a skeleton sternum or
An
something.
exoskeleton,
Yeah.
if you will, and that's where you put your microphone so you can sing while you're being crucified.
It was hard for me to grab a microphone when I was nailed. So we had options of I could do a Britney Spears headset,
Anyway.
which I kind of like, but. So we had one of our people that is an artist. She made this thing that had a belt that hooked around my waist, and then the rib cage went up, but we couldn't keep it, straight. So we had 2 ropes at the top going back to hooks in my shoulders to keep it in place.
Rose, do you ever fear for his life during these shows, or what?
Nah, he's got it.
Sometimes she hopes
I'm in the
for
will.
worst.
Have you ever gone too far? Is there anything that you've done before that you said, you know what, I don't really like that. We're not going to do that one again. That's a no.
Not yet, not yet.
When the phone call...
Sometimes I wore this spandex and it really chafed. So I said, not that anymore.
When the phone call came in, and Bob was screwing around with the kid a little bit, and he's talking about the drummer being in suspendage, but not all the time. Does he actually get suspended sometimes? And how do you drum while you are suspended?
Well, in the past, the drummer is the only one that we haven't been able to.
I would think that'd be difficult.
What we did, we found out a nice little trick we do. We have 2 hooks in the back, the drummer's back, which would go up to a pulley above them and come back down to a bar that was hanging horizontally, and we would have their cymbals hanging off the bar. So as he's drumming, he's playing the cymbals that are hanging off his back. So that was a little trick we devised.
So he's sort of like a drummer cymbal tortoise or something like that.
Or the guy that we just don't like. Sorry,
Well,
Lefty.
he is
We
the
love you.
drummer, right?
He is the drummer,
Right.
and that's what happens. We're going to play the game next. Samantha's on hold, and now I'm sure she's intimidated by what she's hearing.
Go to the website, check all this out. The videos are up.
And we're on Facebook.
Exactly. We'll do some links too, but you have to, there's a visual part to this also.
Henry Weinhardt's beer is Samantha's just for calling in, and she is playing for the Jack Reacher movie passes. Stay listening, because if Samantha loses, you could win Only Flesh here in studio on 105.9 The X for Are You Smarter Than.